Live action. What's going on, people? We are live. How's everybody doing tonight? I assume we'll probably not have the biggest of crowds that we usually have, particularly because of the Cowboys Ravens game. And I wouldn't blame you. But there's people who'll be watching this afterwards. If this is your first time watching, what is this? Well, we're gonna go through every single offensive play with the All-22 film. So that way, it's like, I mean, you don't have to be an expert to watch this. I try and break things down very simply. We'll spend more time on some plays than other, and I feel like it just gives you a good idea of what's actually happening because there's times you miss stuff. I mean, hell, you can't even see the routes develop from TV for the most part. So, I think this is a cool way of doing that, and it's fun. Every couple drives, I'll talk with the chat and answer some questions, and then afterwards, it usually gets a little off the rails. By the way, if you are a music fan, I have been listening to "By and by Camp. Like, I've been listening to it 20 times in a row. I didn't want to start the stream because I wanted to listen to it one more time. I just found that song, and if you probably some like Camp, like big fans, like you just found them, but it is what it is. It's a good song. All right. You guys ready to get into it? You guys ready? All right, let's do this. We will be doing the full screen view. Gives everyone a better view. And we are good to go. Thoughts on Slareth? They're on Twitter. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Let's get into it, and then I'll answer some questions on the break. So we got one drive, long drive. So we're gonna go through the first drive, the interception drive. We'll go through three drives, or we'll go through the first two drives, and then we'll finish the first half, and then we'll probably power through. We'll do the two scoring drive. We'll do it. We're gonna see how it goes. How about that? First play of the game, we're running the ball. Yeah, Toy Lolo in on the first play. Is that Toy Lolo? No, that's Ingram. Sorry. I mean, they're playing KJ Wright super wide out here. Shane Lemieux gets beat inside on this play. Watch Shane Lemieux. Good cut by Gallman to get out of that. And this was a mess of a play from everybody. 2nd and 8. Okay, 2nd and 8. We have this play action. Seattle did a good job with this linebacker dropping back and covering this. So if the Giants, if they're expecting Arizona to play it similarly next week, they're going to have to get this wide receiver deep, not because you're going to throw it deep. That way, Evan Ingram can keep bending this out because they did a good job of covering this up. I mean, you saw in the last drive of the game, because Ingram's coming straight down there, the linebacker's able to cover. If this receiver's going deep and moving this corner and this safety, then it's opening up right here, and you could have yourself a big play. Credit to Seattle for that game plan. And then not a very good throw by Colt McCoy. We'll watch it from the back view. They cover the flats really well with Caden. And that's some good defense by Seattle. And they're actually a pretty undisciplined defense. All right, 3rd and 8. I wish Cam Fleming wouldn't do that so we could get a free play. All right, so now we got a 3rd and 3. We're putting the running back in protection. They confused. This was a good call by them. I mean, this is what teams are doing. They are putting both linebackers in the A gap, and then they're showing the nickel corner as a blitz. So they're really trying to they're not letting us. Every team has been doing this. We've been doing it. It's actually kind of smart. It's like on 3rd down, you just don't let the QB know. You don't let them have a good grasp of what they're going to be looking at. Shows that nickel blitz, but they don't send anybody. So you have these two linebackers dropping their zone, the nickel corner, and now you have 6 guys in. You got Dion Lewis staying in to block. So you got 6 guys blocking 4, which means you have 7 guys covering 3. Is that 6, 7, or 4? Oh yeah, you got 7 guys covering 4. What am I doing? What are the route concepts on this one? Let's look down here. Got that slant curl. Ingram on the out route. And this linebacker is waiting for that. On the other side. You see McCoy wants to go to Tate. They're probably trying to throw this into a curl. So when he sees that coverage, he looks back to the other side because he's like, okay, if they're staying over there, maybe they're sending someone there. I mean, this is a good play by Seattle. I'll give them credit for that. Let's see, because this is like, oh, look, this is open. Let's see what happens. Let's see where guys are at the throw before. So you got this linebacker playing right here. So you got to think that this linebacker will be playing this zone. Like this. So this looks open when the ball's thrown, but this linebacker was going to play in there. I actually think this is the right decision on this play for McCoy. Let's see how, people are saying McCoy is short hopping it, but you also don't want him throwing an interception here. Actually, he really did short hop that. Never mind. I'm thinking of another play. There was one play where it looked like he short hopped it, and it was Jamal Adams had tipped it. All right, so 4th down. Next drive. I don't know if that's why it's not showing. I'm in the second quarter. All right, second drive of the game. Got 5 wide. All curls. It gets completed, but this to me is just, I mean, watch every. This is why this play is dangerous. I'm going to tell you why. This play ends up being a completion. Ingram finds the right hole in the zone, but you have everybody curling. Here's because there's no progression in this play. You are looking, you're seeing how the defense plays, and it's like, okay, I'm going to this receiver no matter what. And how does that get in trouble? Well, because defenders can jump it. Because you basically have to go where you're going, where the coverage dictates it, and you have to be quick. There's not like much thinking about it, or else the whole play is screwed. And it's like let's just say, he gets this coverage look, and he sees like, oh, this linebacker is drifting over. He's going to cover this. Let's just say that happens. Let's say this linebacker plays good and he covers this on tape. So the QB doesn't want to throw an interception. So now what's his progression? There's no progression. There's no progression because everyone's stopped and standing. They're not moving. There's no progression. So you just give up on a play. It led to a coverage sack the first play of the game against the Eagles. It'd be one thing if we had this high flying offense and teams played too deep and we're playing cover 4 and playing guys way off, but we don't face that. We call plays like teams are scared to death of our offense. And it's quite the opposite. I know I'm just like, you just saw me go off on an 8-yard completion. But damn. Okay, you got Shane Lemieux at fullback, Elijah Penny at tailback, which is kind of crazy. Got a nice double here from I went on this in the O-line report. Will Hernandez and Andrew Thomas. Great combo block getting to that linebacker. Let's watch Lemieux at the fullback role. He's coming out for Adams. Can't really blame him on that one. And then Penny just going through the whole good stuff. I mean, hey, you do what you got to do. 1st and 10. Okay, let's talk about this. This is gap. Let's talk about gap responsibility with the D-line and what you want to run against and what you don't want to run against. So I go through this on every stream, but I think it's important to establish it. That way it makes it easier to talk about as the game goes along. You have a center in every play. On both sides of the center, you have an A gap. So on this side, you have an A gap, B gap, C gap. On the other side, A gap, B gap, C gap, D gap. The best time to run the ball is when they don't have every gap filled. How do you fill every gap as a defense? You have one more defender than they have blockers. Do they have that right now? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 defenders in the box versus 6 blockers. So you have 50 is in the C gap. This guy's in the B gap. Wagner's in the A gap. This defensive tackle's in this A gap. He's in this B gap. He's going to play in the C gap. And you got this guy in the D gap. So this is not really a favorable front to run against. What do the Giants do? They do run it, which sometimes you just got to do it, you know. They do a pull. Zeitler comes down here. Gates is coming down here. Fleming here. They block it really well. The issue is just that we have one less blocker. So Will Hernandez, watch Will Hernandez for all the people who say Will Hernandez can't pull. Also, that's a great pull by Will Hernandez. That is a great pull because if they don't have every gap filled and we run against this, well, guess what? This player is not free. This player is free, though, because they have one more player. And then you have Gallman there. Hernandez gets on this inside shoulder of 56. Even gets some movement with it. That's a great pull by Will Hernandez. For all the people who say that Will Hernandez is like, you know, mentally challenged when he pulls. He's not. He's actually really good at pulling. But I'm getting paid by Will Hernandez, you know. Getting paid. He pays me to say all this stuff. He pays me to just make stuff up. Max protect. What is max protect? Well, we do it a lot. It's when you leave everybody in the block besides 2 receivers. So you have a 2-man route. And you hope they find a hole in that zone. They do a good job. Shep finds a hole in the zone. Finds a nice hole in the zone. Now, it's been some tight throws that have been making this. This is a boom or bust play. This play, it's boom. You got Slayton occupying here. This safety playing deep. This linebacker sucks because he's playing the run. Good job. Shep's only catch of the game. Good blocking up front. Well, actually, let's watch Lemieux. Let's watch Lemieux. Y'all think I'm making this stuff up. Now, what happens now is I like Lemieux. I think he's been playing really well for a 5th-round rookie. I think he's shown enough to where it's like, hey, this guy's a part of our future in the starting rotation. But now, y'all got me pointing out all the things that aren't that great because people acting like, oh, he's just better. Everything is just, he's magical. Everything. With Shane Lemieux, and it's just magical. He came in and everything happened, and it's all because of him. It's not because we fired an offensive line coach and Joe Judge was taking over the O-line. That has nothing to do with it. So this is not a great pull here by Zeitler. Zeitler goes to kick out block and there's no one to kick out. He needs to wrap this around. He needs to know he's wrapping this around or wrap this around and Gallman go here. The issue is Shepard does a bad job blocking Jamal Adams, which you can't be mad at him for that. If Shep holds this block, though, so I was thinking of another play with Zeitler. If Shep holds this block, that's a nice run. We'll see it. Let's look at that from the sky view. Like I said, you can't be mad at Shep for not holding a block on Jamal Adams. But if he holds that block, that's a lot of freaking room to run right there. I mean, look at that. There's a lot of room to run right there if Shep can hold that block. But what he do not. I still gained some yards, though. 1 yard. How about that? All right, we got a 3x2, which means 3 at the top, 2 on the bottom. 5 wide. What are we doing here? Cracker Jacks. Oh, this is a sack. Let's look at the route concepts on this, though. What do we got down here? We got Slayton on a fade. You got Tate on an in. What do we got up at the top? I think you got Shepard on a it's like a spacing concept. They cover it really well. This was the watch Shane Lemieux get beat inside on this one. Will Hernandez is fat and slow though. You're gonna hear me be petty about Will Hernandez today because I got a lot of hate for my takes on him. So you're gonna hear me be petty. And it's not. And the issue now is like people are like, well, you're hating Lemieux. It's like, no, I'm just kind of pointing out why Hernandez is better. Lemieux has been very impressive for a 5th-round rookie. Like I love Lemieux. I mean, I love the nastiness he has. I think he's pretty good in the run game. He just has some issues in the pass game. I mean, he had them at Oregon too. It's not like they showed up in the NFL. I mean, go watch the initial breakdown I did on him before he started. I got my hands on Oregon All-22 film. This was the screenplay. That's a hole, but man, that was a well-designed screen right there. I mean, the blockers didn't even really get on anybody. They just kind of got in the way. So, height. Good job, Lemieux, getting up here. All right, so now I got a 1st and 20. We're going to have a curl up here to Ingram. Outside release on it. This is stick. They play off. This linebacker plays the flats. So what Colt McCoy is reading right here is this linebacker. So as soon as this linebacker goes right here, he's realizing Ingram's going to break open right here because this linebacker is going to the running back. Puts it on him. That's actually 1st and 20 is a good time to run stick because they're probably playing a little off. They're probably not playing that tight on them. So now we have a 2nd and 7. Run play. Let's see the gaps on this one. You got jumbo tight end. You got Matt Parrott in there. So we got Caden Smith, Cam Fleming, Kevin Zeitler, Gates, Lemieux, Thomas, Parrott, Toilolo, which means you have 8 blockers. How many guys do they have in the box, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is kind of a favorable run front. Let's make sure on the backside. Actually, it's not because I didn't see this guy in the box. So they have 9. So this is not a favorable run front. But sometimes, and we did it well, sometimes you do, you don't, just because it's not a favorable run front doesn't mean you don't run against it. You got Thomas and Lemieux working down to here. You got Parrott and Toilolo working here. Gates and Zeitler working here. See? I mean, this isn't great block. Toilolo does a great job. He bounces this, but you got this free defender out here. So he bounces, and you got that free defender. All right, you guys want to hear me go off? It's 3rd and 8 now. You're going to hear me go off. Where's these defenders lined up? They are lined up 7 yards. The first down markers at the 8 is 8 yards. So the first down marker is at the 9. They are lined up to stop them from running these curl routes. They just know they're going to have to stop in front of us. They can't run into us on a curl route. So watch Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram, he realizes he has to stop this shorter than the markers. He has to. Or is he supposed to run into the defender? And so what does Colt McCoy have to do? He's got to put a ball in there. And let's watch Evan Ingram. Now, he should make this catch. But he gets hit. He should make that catch. There's no excuse for not making that catch. But he gets hit. Because everything's in a tight space, you got a safety behind who makes that catch. Now, I want to show you something. Because if he catches this is not a first down. It is a 4th and 2 if he catches this. It's a 4th and 2 if he catches this. What has been kind of successful on 3rd down? Now, I get Colt McCoy doesn't have the best arm strength, but he's not. He has he has enough arm talent to make some throws. You had this all game. Look at this press coverage down here with Darius Slayton. You see a safety over the top? Do you? Why not just take that shot? And if it doesn't work, you kick a field goal and get 3 points. Because guess what? You complete this pass, you're still getting 3 points. You complete this pass and you're still getting 3 points. But instead, we run a outside release slant against press. Yeah, both these guys stopping before the marker. It's not like they're going less than the marker and then they're still moving and have plays. There's if you throw these guys, if you see these guys are blitzing, right? And instead of Slayton Tate turning around and curling, instead of what they do and they do this, is Tate at this point slants right here. Well, at least, yes, you're not throwing to the marker, but he's got a chance to get yards after the catch. He's at least got a chance. Here, there is no chance. You got zero chance. There's zero chance unless you break a crazy tackle. And now, instead of 3 points or 7 points, we get 0, and they get an interception. And we didn't score another time this half. So don't talk to me about how the offense controlled the ball. We didn't score a single point in the first half. Let's talk with the chat. I'm fired up. Let's talk with the chat. Let's calm you. Let's calm me down. Let's calm me down. All right. Justin Tucker missed a great field goal. Great, Brownie. I love that. Just freaking love it. Woo! Let's see. Oh, I still have this up. Thoughts on Slayerth. He sucks. Oh, man. He was bad. Slayerth is not a clown. He's the entire circus. Mark Slayerth disagrees with Bobby. Oh, man. Lemieux is getting my nerves with pass blocking. But he shouldn't, though. Lemieux shouldn't be getting your pass blocking. He's a rookie. He needs work. He has the potential to get better. So he's not getting on my nerves at all. Like there is no disappointment in me about Shane Lemieux. There's none. This isn't an anti-Lemieux. This is more pro Will Hernandez. And Will Hernandez isn't amazing. He's not the best. He's not a top 5 guard in the league, but I think he starts for probably almost every team. And if he's not starting, it's because they have an elite guard combo. Oh, man. To be honest, Graham would be a bigger loss than any impending free agent we have. Leo, Dalvin, Logan Ryan, I agree with you 100%. Because even with those guys, you can see the replacement there. It doesn't mean you'll be getting the same level of play, but you can see the replacement there. Exactly. I hate when these routes all break at the same time. What are you supposed to do then? Yeah, that's when it's like Jones is staring down his receivers. Like he has no other choice. Okay? How do you go through progressions when everything's breaking at the same time? He's not staring down his receiver. He's staring down the defense because he knows what that linebacker decides if I'm throwing there and there. And I better hope to God the guy covering him doesn't break quick and it leads to interception. We're trying to put, and this is supposed to be like the argument is like, oh, I'm supposed to cut down on turnovers. It's making it worse. It's making it worse. And don't be like, well, he's fumbled less. He's been hit on sacks and carries the same amount of time. So actually more so. And he has a less fumble rate. He's just gotten better at holding on to the ball. Good on him. He has gotten better. It had nothing to do with the system. No, Garrett isn't clueless, but he does get too. Yeah, I don't think he's clueless. I just don't think what he does fits with our personnel. I have Cowboys fans in my mentions saying like he needs a top tier wide receiver, and I believe that to be true. When did they've always had one? I mean, think about that year Amari Cooper came. They sucked. Amari Cooper came, and all of a sudden the offense turned around. He needs that top tier receiver, which is awesome. Like I would love for us to have that top tier receiver. But you play with the personnel you have. Oh, man. Yeah, and that's something that frustrated me this week is like, well, it's Colt McCoy. It's like, yeah, but we're doing the same thing with Daniel Jones. If we're opening stuff up and it wasn't based off Jones audibles, then I would agree with that. But it is what it is. Bobby's so mad. So what's this offense again? Oh, man. At least we only have 50 people in here watching games, so we got the diehards, so I don't have, like, people in here being like, Hernandez is a fat asshole. Who's the most overrated and underrated player on the Giants? Most underrated? This is going to be the last question I answer before I go back to the stream. Most underrated. At one point, it was Gates. People are coming around on Gates, though. I don't know who the most underrated. I don't think anybody. We're winning right now, so we're not really underrating any players. Like Dalvin's not underrated. Dex is. People aren't noticing how good Dex is playing this year. I do think Dex will have a breakout third year, but he's playing very well every week. So I'll say Dexter Lawrence is the most underrated. The overrated, and I know this sounds bad, but right now it's Shane Lemieux. It doesn't mean, but it is what it is. See, what I hate about this is I like what I see out of Shane Lemieux, man. It's like he's encouraging and he gets better. This week wasn't his best week, but up into this week he was getting better every week. And and that's something we misuse the word regressing. Like somebody has a bad game, like is this regression? No, it's a game. Regression isn't a one game thing. Check out Rondale Moore from Purdue. Yeah, he's really fast. Who do you think is going to win? Browns or Giants? Giants. All right, let me go. BJ Hill. That BJ Hill is definitely an underrated player. That's a good one. That is a good one. Slayton most overrated right now. Yeah, but I don't think people are overrating him right now. If you would after the Steelers game, he was. I mean, after the Steelers game, I got caught up in it. It's like he's made the year 2 jump. He's a number 1 guy. After the Steelers game, he was definitely. But I think after the last couple of weeks, Slayton's probably up there. But he's still. He's still good. Oh man. All right, let's get into the let's finish the second half. Let's see. All right, so now we are in the second quarter. Share screen. All right, 1st and 10. Run the ball. Okay, let's watch Thomas on this play. Watch him just bulldoze. He's just a mauler. I love it. Tight ends do a good job on this play. Watch Toy Lolo and Caden Smith. Caden Smith does a pancake. Toy Lolo does his job. Now let's watch Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram makes a block. I mean, that's a good job by all 3 tight ends. All right, 5 wide. I think this is a 4 verts play, actually. I believe this is it. Like we're seeing this 2 high look. Or no, this false start by Shep. So maybe is it the next play that's 4 verts? Or am I thinking the 3rd quarter? I think it is. Yeah, this is 4 verts. You see. I think he could have went to Mac on the top.
Sorry.
Shut up, Siri. Could have went to Mac. Played off this safety. But here's the thing. When I talk about 4 verts, 4 verts doesn't mean you have to go deep. You have the safety valve here in Golden Tate. And yes, does he only get 3 yards? Yeah, but if you're running for 3 yards, are you mad? So, like, I'm fine with this play. So, like, when I say 4, people are like, oh, you can't just chuck it. It doesn't mean you're chucking it. You could check it down on 4 verts. And a lot of times there's more space. There wasn't on that play, but a lot of times there is. And they were playing man coverage against it, which kind of screwed it too. 4 verts is going to win better against, cover 3, cover 2. They blitz, cover 0 blitz on this one. See, here's a good one here's where I'll say, like what I was talking about before. It's a cover 0 blitz. Ingram slants this. Now, I wish he'd bend it a little more, but he gets the first down. Instead of what that last 3rd down was, is what would have happened is this. Ingram would have seen this, and he would have turned around right here. But he continues running with it. So good stuff. Let's see it from the back end. Parrott looked good. I'm not going to like I said, if you want to, if you guys want to see O-line content, you probably watch the O-line review. So I'm not going to go crazy on O-line content in these. This is more about, play design and the quarterback. I think he comes off Parrott on this one, which is good. Parrott, good stuff. Let's watch the tight ends. Caden Smith doesn't hold his block. Toilolo doesn't get on that outside shoulder, 56. Well, you gain yards. Like I said, that's the thing about running the ball is like every almost on every run play you can point out somebody doing a bad job. But that's why run plays go for, they don't average 10 yards per pop because it's really hard to get everybody playing in unison and getting, without mistakes. If every run play was blocked correctly, you'd have a one-on-one with the safety every time. This was the one where I was talking about where it's like, oh, he short hopped it. Adams got his hand on it. They showed it on TV. It's hard to see from this, but they did show it on TV. This is a good read, though. He reads the blitz. Throws it in. I mean, if he doesn't, good play by Adams. If Adams doesn't make this play, this is a catch for Shepard. That's where I am cool with the curl is when they're blitzing, when they're blitzing that corner or whoever's covering there. That's when it's like, okay, hey, you just got to get the ball, especially when it's on a second down like that was. See, now they're showing the nickel blitz. Is this guy going to blitz, or is he going to play man with Ingram? Who like they have to be. Here's how you know that he's going to pop out, because you see this safety. The safety is playing 15 yards off the ball, and he's not shaded over. That's how you know somebody is playing out. Somebody's playing out. They are not going to blitz this and just leave this totally wide open. They're not going to do that. So that's how you should know that guy is popping out in the coverage like he did. Now you have these guys drop out, which stinks because now you have 7 guys blocking 5. Did we convert on this? Or no, this was the sack on Dion Lewis. I mean, this was protected correctly. It's just Lewis he just gets beat by Jamal Adams, tries to cut him. And like I said, that one's on Dion Lewis. 4th down. All right, so we have 2 more drives before the half. I think they're both 3 and outs. They are. So the good news is we'll get through them quick. Play action, 2-man route. Here's the issue with the 2-man route is they now have this guy covering underneath, covering over the top. Now, McCoy gets out of the pocket, and Shep should have made this catch. He comes back to the ball. He should have made this catch. Good protection by everybody involved. Shep should have made that catch. That one's on Shep. So here's what this play design is. This sweep, this motion by Shepard is meant to bring this linebacker to bounce him in. So you got Caden blocking here, Toilolo coming here, and Lemieux has a great pull on this play. Watch Lemieux pull. And gets around on the edge, inside shoulder pushing him out. That is a great pull by Lemieux. Moore should have trusted it, though. Moore should have trusted this. He tried the cut back. Once you get some yards out of it, but could have been more. I mean, let's look at it. This is where he cuts back. He should have just hit this. There's no reason for him to cut back on this. Like I said, maybe this block gets broken, but if he plays right off the ass of Lemieux, like this is a great pull by Lemieux. Hell, that might even be 6. Let's look at it from the other view. I mean, you got this. This is the only player you have is this safety. So it wouldn't have been 6, but it would have been. You would have gotten another 3-4 yards. That's for sure. 3rd and 5. Again, okay. So let's look at this. What did we learn on the last time? You have 2 guys covering 3 right here. So somebody's going to pop out. Watch. you know that somebody's popping out. Like this guy, there's no way he's blitzing and leaving him to cover 2 players. There's no way he's blitzing. See? Now, I did get to see this before, so I know what's going to happen. But still. And I like this play call when you see this. I like taking this chance on a first or second down. I don't like this on third down. And if you're going to run this is blocked. This is not blocked well either. I mean, you got Shepard. Let's look at see if we get it from the splits. This is a hard view. It was better actually from the TV copy. Well, honestly, they should have had him coming down here, blocking this. Because Shepard's just not going to make, I'm sorry, but he's not going to make that block. He's already outside his shoulder. He's not going to make that block. It's unrealistic to get to trust Shepard. What I would have done is you have him block down here, and then you have Shep come and block this. And then now this receiver has a one-on-one with the linebacker. You have the safety too. I mean, it's just little crap like that, that screws a play. That gives you a chance at, getting a first down, and instead you're punting. I mean, just think if this was cracked down and blocked right here, and then Shepard is blocking, right here. Now, he still may get tackled. Shep may not get there in time, but you got yourself a better chance than this. I mean, Shep is not going to make that play unless that corner jumps inside. And why would he? 4th and 6. And we're still being shut out. All right. Get the ball at our 5-yard line. They saved themselves with this. That could have been called a false start, but they changed it as a shift. This is all blocked pretty well besides Gates. Everyone does their job besides Gates gets shed. But even then, he wasn't going to get any yards on that. I mean, they stacked the box like crazy. But everyone did their job on that play besides Gates. 2nd and 7. Got the 2 tight ends to the left, tight end to the right. Bring in Austin Mack. I mean, we got everybody in the party. Like I said, it's just hard to run against that, Thomas comes off. Lemieux should have came off to here. Let's watch this. So we know that Thomas is working to here. You got Caden 1-on-1 here. Toilolo and Thomas are doubling from here to this linebacker because you know that because Thomas goes here. So Lemieux and Gates are playing to here. As soon as this linebacker makes a decision, Lemieux should come off. But at the same time, if he does come off, this defensive lineman probably makes the play because Gates is not worked over on him. Not all the way. Now, guess what you're going to see on the next play? My friend Nick Filata pointed this out before I even saw it. Look who's at left tackle. Darius Slayton. You got Darius Slayton at left tackle. You got Andrew Thomas over at the jumbo tight end. Toilolo, Caden. You're just trying to get outside on here. I actually like this play design. They're playing off. You got Toilolo coming up here, Caden coming up here. This was out of the 3 run plays, this was the best design. Caden comes up. I mean, you get some yards out of this. Actually, Caden whiffs. Let's watch Caden in full speed. Yeah, Caden screws that up. And we punt and they block it, which sucks. I hate getting the punts blocked. You know what I mean? All right, we're going to do the first drive of the third quarter, and then we're going to go through the 2 scoring drives. Let's get this first one over, and then we'll I'll do a little chit chat, and then we will be good to go. This is actually blocked really well. It doesn't look crazy. But you got Fleming and Zeitler. You got Hernandez coming off to here. This is one of those plays where it's good to have Gallman. He's just like, all right, yeah, I don't have a hole, but I know where the crease is going to be, and I'm just going to pound it through there. Like, just get my yards. That's, like I said, this isn't like, it's not, they're not, moving the earth on that play, but it's like everyone hit their assignments on that play. I think this is the one where he moves the pile. Yeah, it is. I mean, this is kind of crazy to see, though. Look at this. We have an 8-man line. We have 3 tight ends on one side, 8-man line, dude. I haven't seen this happen. Like, every single one of these tight ends played like over 67% of the snaps. It's kind of crazy, man. You got Toilolo and Caden working to this linebacker. Let's see how they do. They do a good enough job. Let's watch Thomas and Hernandez. They're working to 54. Good job. Let's watch Gates, Seitler, and Fleming or Parrott. So they got Gates out here. Good job. Again, this is like another one of those plays where it's like, yeah, they're not making huge holes, but everyone's hitting their assignment, and you get a yard, and that's where Gallman is good. Gallman's a volume back. He needs that volume. Let me run it again. Got Mack in as a tight end. Adams does a good job blowing this play up, but I don't really blame anyone for this. Good cut by Gallman to realize that and bounce. Get skinny, get those yards. Second and 8. Lemieux back in at fullback, Penny at tailback. Let's watch Lemieux, see what he did. Not bad. Nothing special, but not bad. Get some yards. It's a 2nd and 8, and we're doing that at the 40. It's wild stuff. I'm not even hating. It's just wild stuff. All right, so you bring Lewis in. Does anybody follow Lewis in? Nope. So you got some kind of zone. Slayton's like, dude, I got this whole middle of the field, man. Wagner pops out. Like I said, it's a zone. It's kind of like a cover 3 look, I think. Got them playing underneath. You got them bracketing up here. You got these bracketed up here. You have him bailing on the deep ball. Shep needs to do a better job sitting in this zone. But the issue is Shep thought this linebacker does a good job, honestly. Watch 54. That's Wagner, I believe, right? He does a really good job. Because he makes it seem like he's coming out to play the curl. Then he pops back out on this, so it makes Shep think he's following. Like, if he continues running out, Shep just sits right there and he's wide open. But he gives the illusion that he's following. And then you see Colt pump. And this is, thank God Colt pulled this back. Because if he doesn't pull this back, this is an interception by Bobby Wagner. And honestly, it's probably a touchdown. So thank God Colt held, pulled back on this one. But again, what do we talk about? How the curls are the most dangerous route on this play. Sorry, I just got just thinking about that how this could have turned into a pick 6. This is supposed to be, it's safe, it's controlling the ball. No, it almost turned into a pick 6. If he makes the right read, which is this linebacker, which honestly, you're not really supposed to think about it. It's like you see that linebacker make a movement, then you go. But that would have turned into pick 6, and that is game planning against what the New York Giants do. That's not just, that's how they play their defense. That is seeing what the New York Giants doing and trying to bait us into mistakes. So Shep, he's not going to keep the mesh going because he's got these guys under here, so he sits on it late. Man, I didn't even pick that up the first time going through it. So that's why it pissed me off, because I didn't even pick that up the first time. That makes me want to freaking lose my mind. That play pisses me off so bad. And it's perfect that it comes on a play where I talk to the chat because we're about to score 2 touchdowns. My mood's about to get better. But my God. I mean, that's unreal. That's unreal. The reason I got that mad is because I didn't see that the first time. I did not see that the first time. Someone replied to this on Twitter, said, Bobby, why make a joke about not having fans at the game? I didn't make a joke about that. Didn't do that, Texas Red. Or do you even follow me? I don't know. God bless you. That should have been an interception. And they would have been blamed on Jones, like he stares down his receivers. No, he's actually making the right read. They're baiting us into this. Thank God for Colt McCoy. That's a pick 6. That probably is a pick 6 with Jones. Actually, I don't know. Jones has been a little more hesitant. And then you have people saying, well, he's a little hesitant. He's late on this. That's why. That's why Jones is hesitant on some of these stick plays. That play right there is why he's hesitant. Because he's seen that crap turn into interception after interception after interception. Clayton Harding. The line finally isn't broken for the first time in a decade. Let's not fix it by cutting Zeitler loose unless we get someone better than him. Yeah, man, it's tough, but it's like, do you want to keep the defense together? I don't want to see. It's going to be interesting. I don't know what they're going to do, Clayton, because I agree, man. Like, why would you? I don't want to get rid of Zeitler. The Browns made the same mistake thinking what we are thinking. You know, like, oh, we got this young guy that's going to come in and play, and they were screwed. Man, that's frustrating. Oh, you guys are arguing right now. Ingram has really improved as a run blocker. Actually, I disagree. Over the past couple of games, but last year he was actually kind of like a pretty decent run blocker, and then the start this year he was just brutal. He's gotten better the last couple of games, but like the start last year was actually pretty decent. I really like the outside zone runs more. That was, people were talking about like, well, it was a halftime adjustment. That's what it was, and we'll see it in the next 2 drives. That was what the halftime adjustment was like. We're going to start pulling guys, getting on the outside, and we're going to play this to the sideline. And you see it with the Gallman run. Ravens up 17-10. That's good. Oh, man. Let's see. Are there any questions I want to hit on? Like I said, it's a light crowd. Actually, no, it's not a light crowd. I got 116 people in here. I thought this was a light crowd. I guess it's coming up on halftime. That might be why. Do you think guys like Crowder, Coughlin, Cam Brown are actually solid stars for the future, or are they just better than expected but not that great? I think Crowder definitely can be. I think Crowder is. I'm a big fan of Crowder. Coughlin and Cam Brown, you got to show me. They've got to show me more, and that's not a knock. It's just, let me take my headphones out. I'm not listening to anybody, and they annoy me. Carter and Cam Brown, we got to see more, but I've liked what I've seen out of them so far. Ravens look so beatable. They do. I'm not watching, but I'm just assuming they do. There's a chance Zeitler isn't here next year. You do realize how much he counts against the cap, right? Yeah, that's the dilemma. That's the dilemma. But what Clayton is saying is like, let's figure out a way to keep our best offensive lineman. So I don't think there may be a way to restructure his contract, So I don't know. Like, honestly, guys, I try to not spend a lot of time thinking about that in season. We got all off season to worry about that stuff. I try to stay in the moment. Crowder has speed. Yes, he does. Cardinals do look beatable too. All right, let's excuse me. Yeah, he may go for that. We'll see. But I can also see him being like, no, I'm not doing that. Look at my mom. What a good mom she is. Put the heat on tonight, going down to the 30s. How little does she think of me? That just thinks like I don't know how to turn my own heat on in my own house. I have my own house. I do. I pay. I haven't lived with my parents in 7 years, and she still texts me to turn the heat on. That's a good mom right there. It also never gets cold here too. Do we have to take Solder back? No. I think Solder is a must cut at this point. At what chance do we talk about Thomas as the best tackle in this class? In my opinion, he's been the best the past few weeks. I have to watch Wills and Becton, which is something I will be doing tomorrow, and then put the video out Thursday. I did see that Becton gave up 2 sacks. I only saw a clip of one of them, and then Wills. I saw a clip of him doing a nice influence block, which is like that club, which is something actually Andrew Thomas is known well for. So we'll see. I think Wills has been so consistent all year, though, where you'd still lean him. Becton, if this game was bad, he has been a little up and down, and then the injuries. But if you're just going off the last few weeks, if you're just going solely off of the last few weeks, then yeah, you would say Thomas. I tried to be as more nice to those two guys, just so it's like, I'm trying to gain a national fan base. So I'm harder on my own guy than I am theirs, But to be honest, Becton is so much fun to watch. He's the most fun offensive lineman I've ever watched. Is Mekhi Becton. It's unreal what he does. I think he has the chance, if he can stay healthy, to be the best left tackle in the NFL for the next 15 years. Hall of Fame left tackle. Now, I think Thomas has Hall of Fame capability. A lot of time it has to do with team success with that left tackle spot and being consistent. Unless you're Joe Thomas. Wills, I think Wills is just a little tapped out. And it's not a bad thing. He's really good right now. But Becton, man, if we were redoing this and you got rid of injuries, I probably would go Becton at this point. But you can't do that. Do you think McKinney makes a difference this year? I actually think this week is going to be a good indicator of how they're going to use him, because I think when they have used him this year, they used him as a spy. I get we played Russell Wilson, but against Kyler Murray, you're going to need a little more effort to stop the QB from running. Looking back, do you think Judge was a good hire? Yeah, right now it looks like an awesome hire. We are one tall, fast wide receiver away from having a really solid offense next year, but it will be through the draft, mid to late. Saquon will be so good behind this line. I agree with you there. Does Patrick Graham stay next year if he gets hot in the head coaching market? I mean, he's going to take a head coaching job if he gets offered one. Watching Wills is mad boring, not going to lie. I agree, but that's a good thing. I was making my dad watch Becton's film in February. That's funny. That's funny. That was the thing and I think he's changed the way I looked at it, I was like, there's no way this translates to the NFL. There's no way he's going to bully these people like he does in college, and he does. It makes me happy. Just talking about it. He bullies people at the NFL level, which is just unreal. It's unreal. What do you think of the beast Devontae Smith? I want him so bad. I watch primetime games, and sorry, my shoe came untied, and I know that I'm not walking, but it freaking just having my shoe feel loose pisses me off. Yeah, I would love a guy like Devontae Smith. I don't know, I haven't done a deep dive on him. But I would love a guy like him. All right, let's get into these 2 touchdown drives. Let's get into these 2 touchdown drives. Did a little too much talking there. How much time are we at right now? We're at 54 minutes. Okay, we are gonna. I think we might power through this. Let's see. We got these 2 touchdown drives, and in the fourth quarter we have. Yeah, I think we're gonna power through this. Oh, this is play action. Oh, so before we watch this, watch Caden Smith and Toilolo right here. Just pancake a dude. And then Caden makes the catch because they are covering This is why I say these 2-man rounds kind of like they're a boomer bust play, which I guess I can't hate on. But these 2-man rounds, I mean, they've got bracketed both sides, bracketed both sides. You got Adams right here. So if Shep comes back to the ball over here, you got the safety playing deep. So Colt's got all the time in the world, but he's got no one to go to. Caden gets up, catches the ball. Right, that's still as much like it's a completion for if you get a few yards out of it, you can live with that. I'm not the biggest fan of the max protects towards the middle of the field, because even if it's open, it's going to be a tight throw. This is the Gallman run. Thomas has a great pull on this outside shoulder, gets just enough of a piece on him. Watch Cadence, let's watch from this view. Watch Austin Mack make this block. Watch Austin Mack. Good block. Lemieux, I don't blame Lemieux for wanting to get this sealed off. But if in hindsight, let's watch in hindsight. In hindsight, if he knew Austin Mack's going to make this block, you would like to have him wrap around. But it honestly doesn't matter because this safety plays under here. Instead of playing over the top, he plays underneath. Bam, Gallman out to the races. And then Mark Slareth is going to suck off Jamal Adams for missing him. Wow, Jamal Adams. Good job not tackling the guy. So beautiful. So beautiful. I mean, yeah. Did the Giants just rush for 60 yards? Yeah. Did Jamal Adams even make the tackle? No. Did he just make a play that probably most safeties would make with that angle? Yeah. But, man, that's just the greatest play of all time. There's not a greater player than that out of Jamal Adams. Oh, watch Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram makes this play right here. Let's watch Evan Ingram on Jamal Adams. Talk about this, Mark Slareth. This is a great block by Evan Ingram. And Alfredite Nation, stand up. I had somebody in the comments today being like, you hate Hernandez and Wayne Gallman. You always praise Alfred Morris. It's like, dude, come on, man. What are we doing here? The Alfred Morris, Wayne Gallman stuff is clearly a joke. Bam, bam. I mean, that's just kind of will. Like, Thomas falls down on that whiffs. I saw Baldy, like he's blocking from the ground. It's like, no, he just fell. I don't want to give him credit for that. I like this 2-point conversion call. You got Shepard and Ingram. They are expecting this, and then Shepard just does a good job releasing outside. Colt McCoy puts a good ball on him. 2-point conversion, good. All right. Let's watch it from this view, actually. I like watching these throws from this angle. Beautiful. Nice pump by Colt. All right, guys. We score on the next drive. Now, I hit on this on the O-line report, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. Something's got to give here. Why are these two guys playing so close? Like, I don't know what. Like, they are playing way too close. And this linebacker gets to play both of them. They're going to pop out. I don't know if Slayton should bend this underneath. I don't know. 37 comes up and makes a nice hit. Colt McCoy also doesn't put a lot of zip on the ball either. Let's watch. So we got Lemieux and Gates pulling. Great pull by Lemieux. Gets the inside shoulder. Gets the inside shoulder. Beautiful. Gallman, I go back and forth on this one. Gallman cuts this up. But if I look at if he follows this, if he follows Gates on this, Gates can seal this off. But I also don't blame him for hitting this cutback. And also, like, these guys are reading, like 54 scraping over the top. And then you have to trust these tight ends to make the block. So I don't hate him for doing this. But the big play, wanting the big play, I mean, wants him to follow Gates on that. And Lemieux did a good job kicking out and getting on that inside shoulder. The out route for Ingram. Good route on Jamal Adams. Good throw. They blitz on it too, which is nice. Deion Lewis doesn't do a good job of blocking, but we convert. 1st and 10. Nothing special there. 2nd and 8. Play action. What the hell? This is the last drive of the game. I was wondering what the hell's going on. I was like, aren't they running the ball by at this point? All right, so we're going to just finish. I'm just going to finish this drive. NFL Game Pass pisses me off sometimes. So this is the last drive of the game. We're going to go through this. This kind of sucks. This kind of throws me out of whack. Good job pulling here by Gates and Zeitler. Get those yards, Gallman. That kind of annoys me. I feel like I just ruined the whole stream. I swear they had like a nice bounce out run. Yeah, because I was like, isn't that Gallman run where he cuts it up like late in the game? That pisses me off. Good pull here by Lemieux. You got Gates pulling. He trips, but he gets he cut blocks. They just play well. They play over the top. They were waiting for that. 3rd and 5. This was the go ball to Shep, right? I mean, Colt McCoy just has a dead arm on this. But I like the call. I'd probably rather go throw that to Slayton, but Shep is known to make that play too. So I like the play call on that one. Take a shot. They were begging for that. I wish we'd have done that more times because they were begging us to run that all game. All right, so that's the last drive. Let's watch this other touchdown drive. Come on. All right, this is a nice run by Gallman. Watch. Here, I want to show you. This is why when we talk about defense and Patrick Graham and gap responsibility, this is number 91's gap. His job is to stay in this gap. Watch what he does. He gets selfish. He tries to get off a block and make a play. Watch what he does. That spin move moves him out of his gap. That is a selfish-ass play by 91 right there. That is so selfish. That is so selfish, him making a play. Wagner has this gap. Wagner has this gap filled. Yeah, they'll gain 4. We'll get 3-4 yards off it. That is such a selfish play. I'm not a Seahawks fan, but that pisses me off. That is a selfish play by 91. And it just, he makes the play. He blocks himself on that play. That's what selfish football does. That's why the Seahawks suck on defense, to be honest. Bunch of selfish. That's ridiculous. Wagner doesn't make this play. This one, I just watch Gates, Lemieux, and Thomas on this. Bam. These three made the hole right here. All three of these guys do their job extremely well. They make the hole. Good job. Good job, O-line. Now it's time for the Alfredite. Where's my Alfredites at? Don't get much yards. Next play. Bootleg. They're playing the inside. Easy. Alfred Morris has the best celebration in football. I love his touchdown celebration. All right, so we had a 3 and out where we kicked a field goal. We're not gonna. In fact, you know what? We got 2 more drives we're gonna go through. We have 6 more plays. 6 more plays, and then I'll talk with the chat. 6 more plays, and then I'll talk with the chat. First and 10. This is after. No, this wasn't it. Was it? Will Hernandez trips on this. Still get a good gain as a well-designed run play. Will Hernandez screws himself on that one. So if you're one of like the, Will Hernandez is a fat loser, DM me. I'll send you that clip and you could just spam it like crazy. Just spam it in my mentions. Like, look, he's a fat loser, guys. I told you. Look at this front we're running against. This is crazy. We're running against it. This is nuts. It's crazy. Found that rock, though. I like it. My light is not being very bright. It's dying. My lighting is dying. So he shows blitz. We talked about it earlier. He doesn't think he's coming. And honestly, this is a ballsy call by the Seahawks, and they do a good job of this. This is a ballsy call by the Seahawks to leave this uncovered, to do this blitz and leave this uncovered. I mean, yeah, you got the safety over the top, but that means you have 2 guys down here. This is a ballsy call by them. But against this offense, I guess you could kind of do that. I mean, if you send these 3 guys deep, this is a touchdown. He is wide open for a touchdown. But you also are getting your guy there. And that's why the protection, McCoy bounces out of it and runs. Also, keep your eyes downfield, though, Colt McCoy. That's a touchdown right there. You still got plenty of time. Just throw this up there, man. That's a touchdown. But he should have thrown that. I don't care if he missed. He should have thrown that. This is a slide protection. Like I said, he doesn't think this is coming. But this is why I say when you slide, because they're doing the slide protection right, you should always send the running back the opposite way. Because you at least know 95 is coming. Or like one of these guys is coming. So set this way and then have Lewis this way. If you let me play it from the back end. If you send Lewis this way, let's watch what happens. Denlamp has to come across. So either one of these defenders picks up Lewis, but you still have a nice throw. I mean, you've seen the Giants get first downs with that in previous games. You probably have him wide open. But you send him over here and he's covered. They got this covered perfectly. You get screwed. So that doesn't make sense. I don't know who that's on. That might be on McCoy or I don't know. But if you're going to if you're going to slide, you got to send the running back the opposite way. I mean, that's high school stuff. I mean, you got to slide right. You got to send it the other way, man. All right, and then Russell Wilson threw an interception. This is the last plays we're going through, guys. Last 3 plays. We are in their territory. Let's just play action. Oh, here. Sorry. Here's where I was talking about earlier. This should be bent more this way. Because watch. I mean, this linebacker plays it well, and this is probably a game plan. Watch the linebacker, Wagner. As soon as he realizes play action, he flips his hips and bails. He knows where that spot's going to be. He finds Ingram and makes the play. But if you bend this out to like the 16, then that's a catch. Know what I'm saying? 2nd and 10. Running it. Good cut. Get some yards, Wayne Train. 3rd and 9. Cover 1 blitz. I actually like the play call. Similar. You got Ingram slanting. I like the play call. It was 4th and 1, and they kicked the field goal. Personally, I think I would have went for it there, but you know what? If we don't get it, we don't win the game. So maybe I don't. All right, guys. That's it for the offensive plays. Now we could just talk. Just me and you guys. My studio lighting is dying. I guess I've been going for. We recorded a lot of Talking Giants, so it's been going for a while. But I feel like it should be good. I feel like it should, last me a day here. See how much brighter it is. Let me turn it off. Bam. Okay. All right. Sorry, Browns. You can't. Don't spam the chat. You're in timeout. He had too many Wally passes. Yeah, McCoy's not great. Well, Mayer stopped meddling with the team and allowed Judge to hire his own coaches. I think he proved himself enough to get his own DC. To get his own. I agree with you there. Jamal Adams made the most overhyped missed tackle of all time. Lemieux and Gates are practically twins. I know. They look just alike. Oh, man. Part of me wonders, now this is probably not going to happen, but what if Lemieux moved to center and Gates moved to guard? I've thought about that. But I think it'd be, weird to flip-flop. And Gates has shown to be a good center. Lemieux showed promise at guard, so I don't think they would do that. I like Chris Rumph, the edge from Duke. He can cover and rush. Perfect for Graham. Yeah, he would be a perfect fit for Graham. Go ask our guy Brian Porras. He would be a perfect. He was one. I haven't done a lot of draft research, but we did a week of we were in the offseason. He was one of the guys I looked at, and he would be a perfect for Graham's system. So you guys are talking draft people, and I don't know who you're talking about. Is Marshall at 19 at reach? I don't know who Marshall is. Maybe Jack. I don't know who Jack is. Bobby, what happened to Colbert? I think he was cut when they brought back McKinney. And he was always injured. Did I miss the Gates pancake? My bad. Sorry. Tell me what the one on snacks. Man, if you can run for 3 yards, you set up 4th and 1. Lie about Galladay committing armed robbery to sign him. Oh, gee. But the Giants wouldn't sign him. That'd be funny. Baldy. What about Baldy? Baldy's my guy. Oh, Baldy's breakdowns are great. So he gives the Giants O-line tight ends lots of prep. Yeah, Baldy was I used to. I don't watch him as much anymore. But I mean, I used to watch every single Baldy breakdown, like not just the Giants. Bobby sounds pissed today. I'm an angry man. Actually, I'm not. I'm really not. Ravens are still winning. Cowboys at the 48. This is my favorite part. See, I'm glad that people like this. I thought this stream was going to be something people wouldn't like. I thought it'd be like a piece of content where it's it's not put together well. It's not well produced. It's kind of sloppy. It's kind of freelancing. I'm not really communicating with the chat most times. So I'm glad people like this. But I have seen as the second half has started, the numbers have went back down a little bit. But that's okay. We'll do the defense tomorrow. It'll be more fun. Talking Giants, more like number 91 on the Seahawks slander cup. Oh, man. What are your thoughts on Will Hernandez? Check out the O-line report today. You get them. What was the question? Oh, thank you for the donation, Kaiki. I hope I said that right. Oh, man. The Giants outcoached us hard. Oh, you're a Seahawks fan. What's going on, man? I forget that people search their team names when this stuff pops up. Who's a good candidate to replace Scared as OC? I've always been a Jay Gruden fan, but the more I think about it, I wanted somebody I don't even know. I just want somebody I don't know who coaches know about and he's up and coming. Like a Joe Brady type. How about some double moves off those hitch routes near the end zone? Ingram can spin off that pivot. OBJ did that once. Yeah, I agree. Baldy's from Duke too. Baldy is an undercover Giants fan. He gets so hyped when watching us, but he's like an Eagles guy though. He calls Eagles preseason games. Do you think Gates likes center now? Yeah, I do, because I think the center's in control, and I think Gates likes that. That's a good question, though. That's actually, Sabrina, that's a very good question. Does Gates like center? Because I know some people, when we were in ninth grade, it was my first year playing football. I never played football until ninth grade, so played JV football. And my best friend, who was he was jacked, I think he did steroids, but he wasn't like an offensive lineman. But they put him at center. In one practice, he screwed up every snap to try and get them to bench him at center, and they wouldn't do it. They would not. He screwed up 10 snaps that practice, and they would not bench him because it was JV football. Because you don't have much options. But he's I want to play. He did play a little D line, but he's I want to play linebacker, and he ended up playing linebacker in varsity. But he's I do not want to play center. Oh man. Any updates on Danny Dimes? None from me. Is this talking about Baldy? Oh, why is everyone so sure that Garrett was a Mara hire? Because they loved him forever. I mean, there's rumors that they were on to go get Garrett the year before Coughlin was fired. If Garrett was going to be fired, they were going to go after him. Just my opinion, but hurt or not, I don't feel Slayton could be number one wide receiver. Please prove me wrong, Mr. Slayton, but I see him as much more of a speedy Manningham number 3 type. Nothing wrong. He's a number 2. He's an outside number 2 guy, but I don't think anyone's really arguing that he's the number 1 right now. It's annoying to just harp on Garrett, but our O does not have a huge talent deficiency. Yeah, I agree. I mean, going into this year, the narrative was, hey, the O can score points. Can the defense keep us in games? Yeah, I mean, I hate talking bad about Garrett, I do. I don't enjoy that at all. Nothing I look forward to less to, especially after a win. Because after a win, it's just you play the results. And this is what I said. I didn't put out much because it's a win. We're having fun. We're celebrating. What's the point of me, going off on Garrett this week? Let me put it this way: is if the Seahawks scored on that final drive, would it have been a good game for this Giants defense? It would have been an awesome game. It would have been a great game. You'd have been mad that they didn't hold him off for one last drive, but it would have been a good game. And I promise you, we're not talking about how the offense controlled the ball. We didn't even win the time of possession. No, it was only by like 45 seconds. Because someone hit me like, oh, it was only by 45 seconds. Yeah, but that's not what winning the time. When you say you want to win the time of possession, it's not by 30 seconds. It's by 10 minutes. You want to win it by 10 to 20 minutes. That's what winning the time of possession is. And we didn't even win it. Big Bang 75, I appreciate you. First saw you on Tanner's channel. Love all your film breakdown on O-line. Learn a lot. I like it. I always go for, and I know I end up repeating myself a lot on this stuff, is a lot of people who do film, I swear they're trying to impress coaches with the stuff they say. They use terms that 99% of people don't know. Like, here's something. A 4-eye. Who in here knows what a 4-eye is? It's taught in middle school football what a 4-eye is. But 99% of human beings don't know what a 4-eye is. It's simply lining up on the inside shoulder of a tackle. But why not me just say the defensive tackle in the B gap, or start the video out with like, hey, A gap, B, like, so, like, I try to make it as simple as can be. Like, I want people to enjoy watching it and not feel like I'm talking over their heads. And also, I'm not an expert at this stuff, Like, people ask me for like, oh, break down James Bradbury. It's like, I hate to break it to you, I really don't. I can see if he's good or not, but I don't, I'm not going to be breaking down his footwork and stuff. I can talk about how he collapses on routes and stuff, but I'm just not an expert at that stuff. Did this game prove that it's not Jones, it's a system? It did for me. Most plays, the receivers seem to run into coverage. Yeah, but I've been saying that it doesn't prove it, but here's what I said. Colt McCoy wasn't the issue. He's just exposing the issue. That's my take. He's hurt. He should have not played the last 3 games. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about Blake Martinez? Oh, you're talking about Darius Slayton? He got to play through injury. And he does. And I'm not, granted, good for him. But this idea that you just, like, anytime someone hurt, you just let them sit and get out, that's just not football. Your whole team would be sitting. Dallas missed a field goal. That's awesome. Tell me one specific player you want in the draft. Now, you're going to hear this name a lot. Chaz Surratt. Linebacker from UNC. I am in love with that guy. And I think Patrick Graham would fall in love with him too. He's a do-it-all type of linebacker. He changed positions from quarterback to linebacker just last year. He had over 100 tackles. He gets sacks. He's good in coverage. He's fast. He is a freaking beast. If the Giants draft him, I'll celebrate him more than any first-round pick, more than anything. I want that guy so bad on the New York Giants. And he's, there's 31 other teams. One of those teams will probably get him, and I might cry. If he ends up in the NFC East, I will cry. But I love him. Now, some of our people that live in Carolina says he has a bad attitude, which is like sucks. But you know what? I'm going to ignore his bad attitude. Speaking of bad attitude, listen to the podcast tomorrow. It comes out on YouTube at 8. It'll be out on the podcast apps, probably around midnight is usually when Justin gets out. We hit on everything. It's a mailbag voicemail, but somebody did call about Odell, and I let off a nice rant, and I'll save it for just listen to the pod because I don't feel like doing it all over again. Just some of the things, and I get Odell is a lot of people's favorite player of their childhood, and I this is what I'll say, and I'll move on. Jason Kidd is my favorite basketball player of all time. He was the player of my childhood. Went to the NBA Finals, got my Nets to the NBA Finals. He coached the Nets. He wasn't very good. He coached the Bucks. Wasn't very good. But if the Nets hired Jason Kidd as their head coach, I would be excited because Jason Kidd's my guy. I look past all the stuff about Jason Kidd because I love Jason Kidd. I rooted for the Knicks for a year because I love Jason Kidd. When I say I rooted for the Knicks, I wasn't like I didn't want them to win over the Nets. But it was like, if the Nets weren't playing them, I was rooting for the Knicks. And they had Kenyon Martin that year. And I remember in the playoffs that year, Jason Kidd had an alley-oop to Kenyon Martin, and it was just like it just threw me back. Way back when. I like Patrick Jones' edge. I actually watched him. I watched him a few weeks ago when we had the 11-day break between the Bucks game and then the Monday night or the Eagles game and the Monday night Bucks game. Micah Parsons. I haven't watched a ton of Micah Parsons, but when I did, I honestly wasn't the biggest. I don't think Micah Parsons really fits into this defense. And I've only watched a little bit, so please don't hold that against me. I need to watch more. Nick Bolton, I don't know who he is. Surratt, like like I said, I love him. Charlie Mulliner, any wide receivers you're looking at in the draft? Hell, all of them. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase I think he would have been the best wide receiver in last year's draft. Devontae Smith seems to be climbing up boards. Chaz Surratt's brother, Sage. DeMonte Moore out of or Rondale Moore out of Purdue, I believe. Yeah, Purdue. And there's other guys. Terry from Florida State. Daz Newsome out of UNC. He reminds me a lot of Sterling Shepard. If he's there in the late rounds, I think he'd be a good depth piece for that slot receiver. So yeah, I think I would be surprised if we didn't come out of this draft without a wide receiver. I don't know what round. I like J.C. Horn. I'm not a great judge of cornerback talent, but I like J.C. Horn. I don't know who Israel is. Thank you for the donation, Charlie. Kids IQ is one of the highest basketball IQs ever. I think it is the highest basketball IQ ever. Maybe you could put Steve Nash in there, but Steve Nash was surrounded by D'Antoni, who put him in that 7 seconds or less and had the pieces around him. He made Brian Scalabrine money. Like he made everyone. He took a team to the NBA Finals with Kenyon Martin as the second best player. Made Kerry Kittles better. And he was unbelievable. His passes. I wish the assist wasn't as devalued as it is now, because he was so good. And like triple doubles are not what they used to be. And he was a triple double guy. Now everybody gets triple doubles. They get cheap assists. You got guards going for rebounds. Triple doubles don't mean anything anymore. I will say Russell Westbrook's triple double year was pretty cool. And I'm not Westbrook's never going to be the best player on a championship team. Probably never going to be the second best player, although they were very close with KD. But I'm not like a Westbrook hater like a lot of people are. He's getting older and it's not working out. But I actually like what the Wizards did trading for him. Drazen Petrovic's my hero, Nets fan ever since. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to watch a ton of Drazen, but yeah, that J Kidd season is the best year they've had since the best 2 years. I mean, went to the finals back-to-back years. I think he should have won that MVP in 03 over Tim Duncan. I mean, that team is the Nets may win a championship, but my heart, I'm still a diehard Nets fan. But when they left New Jersey and went to Brooklyn, it's just a little bit of my heart stayed in New Jersey. And that team will always mean so much to me. My biggest heartbreak was that game 6 of that 03 finals. We were up the entire game. Spurs in the fourth quarter going on a 19-0 run, started by a Speedy Claxton jump shot. I mean, that's probably my worst sports moment. Game 7, 03, or the 04 ALCS against the Red Sox. That was a pretty bad sports moment. But that happened slowly. We were up 3-0 and they came back. I mean, that was probably peak sports fandom for me. What are your thoughts about Jamar Chase? I think he's the best wide receiver in the draft. I think he might be the best player in the draft. Why are we talking draft when we were about to make the playoffs? Because the stream's over and people are just asking questions. This is what this part is about. Let's see. A lot of draft stuff. Oh, Bateman is another one out of Minnesota. People like. I don't see us going tight end. Oh, rest in peace, Petro. I meant to touch the Kyle Pitts one. Tyler Hero is so overrated. Yes, he is. Tyler Hero's going to be a good, solid player in the NBA, but Tyler Hero's never going to be a star. You Knicks fans and Frank, it cracks me up. The Nets will never win because of the curse of Dr. J. They sold him, just like the Red Sox sold Beirut, but the Red Sox have won a lot. Wasn't Kidd legally blind in one eye? I've never heard that. No, there's no way that's true. We'll go for another few minutes. I've never seen the Knicks have a winning season as a Knicks fan. They won 2012 or 2013 the year they had Jason Kidd. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that was a fun year to watch the Knicks. I mean, that was a fun team. No heat slander. I'm not. It's not heat slander. But does anyone think that Tyler Hero's going to be a star in the NBA? He's a good player, but he's never going to be a star. I love Duncan Robinson. I mean, I just like guys that can shoot. I'm a big fan of shooters. I used to on NBA 2K back in the day. I would start my franchise, and I would start it with Jason Kidd at point guard. And this was when he was old, so it wasn't like he was like the best player, like when he was on the cover. Like he used to be on the cover of NBA Live. I put Jason Kidd at point guard, and I would literally just get all. I was before my time with the NBA. I would just get all shooters, and I would basically run the weave all game and just shoot. I had Meme Okur as my center, Matt Bonner as a backup center, Mike Miller, JJ Redd. I mean, I'm naming a lot of white people right now. Basically, that's what it was for the most part. Friggin' Roy Hibbert stopped them in the playoffs. Oh, the Knicks. Remember when Eric Flowers never made the Pro Bowl? How much man do you think Graham would run if he had the pieces? In other words, is his ideal world to run man or zone? I think he likes his zone because he confuses quarterbacks. But I do think he would like to play some more man reps. But I don't think, as much as he did it on third down in Miami, I don't think he wants to play man. I think he'd like to do it a little more, but I don't think he wants to play man. Let's see. Is Kristaps a superstar in your opinion? No, he's a star. RJ Barrett greater than Hero. I'm not joking. If you switch their situations last year, Barrett is a rookie year contender. I don't think Barrett would have been a rookie of the year contender, but I do think RJ Barrett's better than Tyler Hero. But I mean, John Morant had an awesome rookie year, and then Zion in the limited time was really good too. This has went to all NBA talk, and honestly, I love it. I love talking about the NBA. Oh, you're talking about Kristaps. All right, let's get one more question, and then I'll roll. Tomorrow will be the defensive one. We'll probably have more people here because there won't be an NFL game going on. NBA preseason starts this weekend. I won't get to watch the Nets game because I'll be doing. I'll have it on the corner. I wonder if Kevin Durant's going to play in that. Kevin Durant versus Russell Westbrook. That'll be interesting. Touchdown Ravens. Hollywood Brown. Did he make the catch? Yeah, he made it. Okay, never mind. Lamar just threw a time. Anybody watching Rutgers? I can't get into college basketball anymore. I was a big fan of the Gators, and I think that was the best college basketball team of all time with Joakim Noah, Al Horford, Corey Brewer, Taurean Prince. All those guys went to the NBA. Taurean Prince didn't really play. Chris Richard was on the bench as a backup center. He played in the NBA a little bit. And the best shooter in the entire country, Lee Humphrey. People forget about Lee Humphrey. Best shooter in the entire college football or college basketball. I do think that he would get a chance in today's NBA, but he had no defense. And then their seventh guy off the bench went to my high school. He was a Florida All-State Player of the Year, Walter Hodge, the lefty out of Puerto Rico. As a Knicks fan, should I even watch this year with hope or just accept they'll be terrible? This year, they're going to be terrible. The hope is for the future. I do think that getting all these Kentucky players is kind of funny, though. Heat with Giannis, champions or not? No, I don't think they beat the Lakers or the Nets. I know I'm biased as a Nets fan, but what the Heat did this year was special. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how healthy KD is. That's what I'll say. If KD looks significantly different than he did before, then yes. But if KD is very close to what he was in Golden State, then I will go the Nets. And then the Lakers are going to be tough. But Houston's 5 Slamma Jamma was the best college hoop team of all time. Where does Bradbury rank as the best cornerbacks we had? Please name the ones you think are better. None in my sports viewing watch time. I didn't see the prime of Jason Sehorn. So none. I was a Jenkins fan, but he's way better than Jenkins. I don't even think Obi Toppin's that good, but I bet he wins Rookie of the Year due to lack of competition and flashy dunks. He'll be a fan. There'll be some random guy. It depends on how much Tom Thibodeau uses him, and I think he will fit in with that Tom Thibodeau system. But yeah, I don't know. He could win it. I really like Killian Hayes, and then Detroit did everything else. Everything else Detroit did sucked, so now Killian Hayes is screwed. Give me a shout out for my new YouTube channel coming along slowly. Is this it? Go subscribe to the Hawks family. I'm gonna end the stream. Appreciate you guys. We will see you tomorrow with the stream podcast out tomorrow. Check it out. Good stuff. Sounds good.